welcome back. I hope you're doing well today. So we're gonna need a wall for today's practice and also a blanket. So why don't you go ahead and take a minute to get those things. If you don't have like a yoga blanket like this, you can just use a beach towel or even a dish rag. And you do want to take into consideration the weight of it. So, it's not essential. You don't have to use the blanket, but it might come in handy just for a little extra feedback. So, thanks for joining me for practice today. I'm happy to see you all again. And the thing that we're going to be doing today is a targeted practice that is focusing on side body opening the inner thighs, the adductors, as well as some hamstring length. And also some shoulder integration for weight bearing. So we're going to be building progressively up towards a fancy pose called vishvamitrasana. So it's a big side body opener. It requires a lot of mobility through the hips and the legs, and also a lot of strength through the side body and through the shoulder as well. So we're not going to, go on forever and ever and ever. It's going to be a very focused and targeted practice building up to that pose. So we're actually going to start at the wall just so that we can really focus on what it feels like to have the shoulder blades strong and on the back. So I'd like for you to just find plank pose at a wall. And step your feet far back enough that you feel a little bit of weight bearing, right? A little bit of weight bearing, and place your hands the way that feels good for the wrists, right? So when I do that, my pointer fingers are parallel to each other, kind of like the number 11. For some of you, it might be more that your middle fingers are parallel to each other, so you have to do a little bit of experiment. Right, weight through the inner edges of the hands as much as the outer edges of the hands, and then claw your fingertips into the wall, almost as if you're trying to palm a basketball. Right, so you're really engaging all the way up through the arm, and then just do a few serratus push-ups here. So you're going to press the wall away until you feel your shoulders, your upper back round a little bit, and then do the opposite. Draw the shoulder blades together, and just do that a few times. And try to keep your pelvis and your head still, right? So we don't want the whole thing going. Just moving the rib cage and the shoulder blade. And then find the place where the shoulder blades are both on the back and you're pushing, right? So you feel the musculature that draws the shoulder blades forward and also the musculature that draws the shoulder blades onto the back. So they're working evenly with each other. And then I'm going to ask you to take your right hand to touch your left shoulder, the left side of your chest. And as you start to pivot to the right, so you come to the outside edge of that right foot, keep the shoulder blade on the back. So the tendency is for the shoulder to roll forward this way. You might see it a little bit more easily when I do it to the other side, right? The muscles that draw the shoulder blade towards the spine, activate those, right? So nice broad collarbone. And here you are, and you can even turn your head opposite the wall. And then look towards the wall and slowly rotate your torso, face the wall, place your right hand to the wall, transfer the left hand to the shoulder, and then start to turn away. You can see a little bit more easily maybe on this side. The tendency is for the shoulder to roll forward again, so use the muscles that draw the shoulder blade onto the back. And as you turn your head to look away, keep the right shoulder blade pinned back, and then slowly turn your gaze to the wall, turn your body to the wall, and place your left hand down. Let's just do that one more time each side. Pivot, look, lift the side waist up away from the wall, turn to face the wall, right hand to the wall, second side, left hand to the right shoulder, pivot, look away, and then turn to face the wall. Good. And then step off the wall, please. Straighten out your mat if you need to. Then come to the center for a moment and separate your feet wide, and then lift your arms, abduct your arms and flex at the wrist. So your palms are now facing away from your center. and press out. Press out as much as you can, and then draw the shoulder blades together and down the back. And then let them lift up and push out, and then squeeze them together and press down, and then find somewhere in between. So you're reaching out as much as you're pulling in. And then bring your palms to face the floor. Bring the fingers together. Turn the right leg out, bend your right knee, and straighten your right leg. And move with your breath. Just moving in and out of warrior 2 and triangle prep. Guiding the knee open over your second toe as you bend. And then slowly straighten, lift the kneecap up, push the floor away. Let's do that one more time. And then turn that right leg in, turn the left leg out. And same thing, bend and straighten a few times. Mindful of where the knee is tracking. And still working with the arms, reaching, charging out through the arms, hugging muscle to bone, and drawing the shoulder blades onto the back. Let's just do one more time here. Feel the legs, feel your breath, and turn that leg in. Take your hands to the frontal hip bones, give them a squeeze, pull them down towards the floor. Draw the shoulder blades together, lift the chest up, and then exhale, big bend to the knees, lean forward, let your head hang. Fingertips can come to the floor. Big breath in and out. Let your head go. Little bend to the knees. Walk your hands forward. Take your hands to your hips, and then with the strength of your legs, come all the way up to stand. Great. Now please step your feet together. Reach your arms up overhead. Your right hand will hold just below the left wrist, and then pull yourself up and over to the sides. This is a variation of half moon. Press evenly through the feet again. Draw your ribs back, slide your throat back. If you want to play with your balance a little bit, you're going to lift your right leg off to the side. Rest on your big toe like it's the kickstand for a bicycle. Then you have the option to flex your foot, lift your leg all the way up into the air. Couple more breaths here. Inhale, stand tall. Release the arms down. Give yourself a hug. Right arm underneath. Just give yourself a hug. Feel the space between the shoulder blades. Lift your elbows. On your next breath in, sweep the arms overhead. Second side, lift up and then lean. Good. And then once you've found that edge, right, lots of space through the side body, little bit of compression to the other side, draw the ribs back, slide your throat back, you can extend that leg. First, just rest lightly on the toes. You can work right there or just flex your foot. Good. Press through the foot that's on the floor, press through the big toe. 2 more breaths here. And then inhale all the way up to stand. Give yourself a hug. Opposite arm is underneath. Lift your elbows. Reach your hands back. So the back view looks like this. Right? So breathing into the space in between the shoulder blades. Let that go. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. So I'll turn to a lateral view now. Lateral view. Exhale, bend your knees. Touch the floor. Head is heavy. Push the legs as straight as feels reasonable for you. Lean forward slightly so there's as much weight in the balls of the feet as the heels. And then just do that a few times. Bend your knees, lengthen your spine, come to the fingertips. Exhale, ribs to thighs. Head is heavy. Push the legs towards straight. Inhale. And exhale. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Plant your hands and then walk back to a tabletop position. So knees are on the floor, underneath your sitting bones, hands are on the floor, and then all the things that you worked out when your hands were at the wall, find that here. Feel both the muscles, the push muscles, right, that pull the shoulder blade forward, so pressing down through your hands into the floor, and then also the muscles that draw the shoulder blades towards each other. I'm going to ask you to kickstand your right leg off to the side. So you're just going to angle your lower leg and then take your left leg behind you. Bring the inside edge of the foot to the floor. Reach your left hand up onto your hip. So just like we did at the wall, right? Same action of keeping the shoulder blade on the back. Turn your chest towards the sky. Now as you turn your chest to the sky, keep the shoulder blade on your back. You have the option to lift that left foot up off the floor. So this is like half moon pose. Draw the ribs in. Maybe reach the arm up. turning open. Feel space between the upper and lower teeth. Relax your face. Do one more breath here. Slowly lower that foot down. Now, turn your palm towards the top of the mat. Reach the arm over your ear. Now, as you do, lift the right side waist. The waist facing the floor. Lift that up away from the floor so now you get curvy. Big stretch through the side body. Turn your torso towards the floor. Bring the hand down. Lower the knee. Second side, kickstand your left leg. Inside edge of your right foot is to the floor now, and I'm pressing down. As I press the foot down, I feel the inner thigh come to life. Hand to your pelvis. Turn open, turn open. As you turn open, keep the bottom shoulder blade on the back. So the rib cage is turning, but the shoulder's staying back. Option to lift the leg, lift the arm. Rotate your palm, your upper arm towards the top of the mat. Lower the foot to the floor. Lift your side body away from the floor. So the hand that's on the floor is pushing down and away towards the top of the mat. Big stretch. Milk the transition. Hand to the floor. Knee to the floor. Pause a moment here. Gaze is to the top of the mat so you feel that your head is in line with your spine. Exhale. Narrow through the waistline. Hover your knees up off the floor. So find those push muscles pushing into the floor and the pull muscles, shoulder blades on the back. Inhale, lower the knees, tap them down. Exhale, hover the knees. Inhale, lower the knees. Exhale, hover the knees. One more time, inhale. Exhale, hover the knees. Push the hands towards the top of the mat. Angle back to downward facing dog. If your heels don't come to the floor, no problem. Little lift to the heels, little bend to the knees. Still push. Create lots of lift and length. Float your armpits away from the floor. Nice big breath in. And then step your right foot just to replace your right hand. Spin the back foot down. Walk your hands inside a little bit and then reach out. Push your hands down and away. Pull the ribs up. Guide your front knee open like warrior two. This back foot is pushing down and pulling to the top of your mat. So you're waking up the inner thighs, creating both tone and length. And on your next inhale, walk your hands back. Lift your back heel. Find a nice lunge. Exhale. Zip your heel to your sitting bone. Pull the knee forward. Push the floor away. Lift your belly. Step nice and slow back to plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice breath in. Exhale, step your left foot through. Spin your back foot flat. Walk the hands inside and forward. Push down and away. Lift the ribs up. Bend the front knee. Guide it open. Pull back foot to front foot. And get low. And then walk the hands back. Lift your back heel. Find your lunge. Exhale, core plank. Zip your heel to your sitting bone. Squeeze, pull. As you lift your bottom ribs up, push the floor away. Whole inhale, step it back to plank pose. This time we're going to lower all the way down. Good. And then bend the elbows, right? So goal post your arms and bring your forehead to rest on the floor. If you have your blanket or your towel handy, that's actually a nice place to put your forehead, right? Goal post through the arms. And then you're going to lift just your left forearm, your left arm up. And then lower it down. And then lift the right arm. And then lower down, lift both arms. Feel that connection to the upper back. Press the back of your head up off the floor. Still lots of length and space through the back of the neck. So I'm really feeling the muscles of the upper back here. And then you can float your legs up off the floor. Squeeze your bottom. Spin your inner heels to the sky. Option to bring your feet to touch. The heels might be slightly separated. Kneecaps looking down at the ground. Inhale, upper body lifts. Exhale, legs lift. 2 more breaths like that. One more breath in. And then exhale, lower down and rest. Slide your hands to the floor, lift the shoulder heads up, and then inhale, push up to your hands and knees. Curl the toes under, push back downward facing dog. Big breath in. Open your mouth and let it out. Walk your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way to stand. Exhale, hands to your heart. Lower down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back. Okay, now from here, pivot both toes to the right. Just like you did at the wall. Your hand is going to come to your shoulder, to your chest. Keep the shoulder back as you start to turn open. Reach the arm to the sky. And then turn the palm, the upper arm, towards the top of your mat. As you sweep your arm up by your ear, the hand that's on the floor is going to push down and away from you. So you get super duper curvy. And then right hand to the floor. Lift your heels. Second side. Pivot your toes to the left. So here I'm on the outside of the right foot, the inside of the left foot. Hand to the shoulder first. As you turn open, keep the shoulder blade pinned onto the back. Free the arm. Keep turning your chest to the sky. Rotate your top arm to the top of your mat. Get super curvy. Lift the side waist and lower down. Plank pose. You're going to do that one more time to each side. Breathing in. Breathing out. And inhale. And exhale. And one more time. Breathing in. Breathing out, and working here for 3 more breaths. Ribs in, tailbone long. If you'd like to play with hovering the top foot, that's a great place to work. And then right hand to the floor, just to go into the second side. So complete the cycle. Lift, keep the shoulder back, free the arm. Working here for 3. And 2, one more breath. And hand to the floor, lower all the way down. So this is where you'll need your towel or your blanket. So you're just going to flip over onto your back. I'm going to change my view so you can have a clearer view of what's happening. So just lying on your back, bend your knees into your chest for a moment, right? And then just circle the legs. And then let your knees go wide. And then drop your left foot to the floor and take your blanket on top of your right foot. Okay. So, extend your right leg straight up to the sky. Foot is facing the ceiling. So your foot is creating a shelf for the blanket. Now let's take the arms out. And as much as possible, try to relax through the arms, the chest, the shoulders. I'm going to ask you to bend the right knee towards happy baby. So the knee's coming towards your right shoulder. Try not to lose the blanket. And then notice how your pelvis wants to turn a lot to the right side. So you have to use the abdominal wall to try to stabilize your pelvis a little bit. Notice if your left leg is falling out to the left, and then push the leg straight. And just do that a few times. All right, so working on the mobility and the active range of motion of this hip joint. Okay, now keeping the leg straight, you're going to start to open the right leg to the right side. Try not to let your whole pelvis turn. So like for me, that's about it. So my range of motion significantly decreases when I do it in this way. If I held onto my foot and carried my leg open, I could go a lot farther. Good, I can feel the left side of my pelvis lifting. So I know probably have gone a little bit too far. We're going to do that one more time. And last time, open it up and hold here for a few breaths. Just feel the muscles that you're recruiting to stabilize yourself in this way. 2. One more breath. 1. Lift. Good news. Remove the blanket. You can take the foot or just hold the back of the leg if you like. And now go more into like the passive version of the stretch. Just breathing. Good, and then I'm going to lift up. Take a moment to cross the ankle over the knee, and then draw that left leg into your chest. just till you feel a nice gentle opening through the outer right hip, the glutes. Another breath in, and then release. Now the right foot is going to anchor. Your left knee is going to come in towards your chest. Fix your blanket if you need to. Okay, and then finding happy baby. And then extending to the sky. And finding happy baby. This side, this is my weaker side. So it's just interesting for me that I'm feeling the difference. And one more time. And then this time, keeping the leg straight as you open it away from the body. Ooh. And you know, the two sides of the body are not the same. So one side's going to be stronger, one side's going to be weaker, and it's just how we're made. Right? The stuff inside our bodies isn't symmetrical. So why would we be symmetrical on the outside? Right, last one, hold a couple more breaths. Try to soften the shoulders and chest and jaw. Fight for it. And then lift it back up. Good news. You can ditch the blanket. Take hold of the leg. And then go more into passive range of motion. So for me, too, I notice that I have more of this range of motion after I've done the active range of motion one. And then you're going to come on out, cross ankle over knee, and then do that thread the needle stretch on this side. Okay, releasing that left foot to the floor, and go ahead and flip back over onto your hands and knees. And curl the toes under and press back here, downward facing dog. Okay. Inhale that right leg back and up into the sky. Float your armpits up, float your ribs up. Then exhale, step the right foot between the hands. Spin the back foot flat, and here we go into warrior two. Right? So you're externally rotating the front leg, the inner thigh spinning this way. Right, back foot is pressing down, hugging in, and then take your forearm to your thigh. Take your forearm to your thigh, and then take your right hand. You can hold the ankle or take your fingertips to the floor inside your foot. Turn open. So feel how you can use your arm and your leg to press against each other. So I'll just give you the front view for a moment. Right, press the arm against the leg, press the leg against the arm, turn open. And then bend the right elbow. Get low, get low, get low. Thread the right arm underneath you, back of the hand just above the buttocks. You're not trying to go all the way up to the knee, just above the buttocks. Keep turning open. If it feels like no big deal for you, you can bear clasp your hands. Otherwise, work on this underneath part. Left hand is just to the hip. Another breath, and then unwind, touch the floor. Unwind, lift your back heel. You're going to slowly straighten the front leg, just as much as you can, and then slowly bend. And a couple more times, straighten and bend. One more time, straighten and bend. Okay, plant your hands. Pivot to the outside edge of that left foot, and then hold the outer right foot like happy baby. Just hold on to the foot. Hold on to the foot. If you can't quite reach the foot, you can hold the ankle or the shin here and lift and turn open. And then place your right foot back to the top of the mat. Spin the back foot flat. Here we go, triangle pose. So you can slide your hand up to your shin, no problem. Triangle pose. Turning open. And then unwind, foot to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. And then left leg to the sky, reach it back and up. Exhale, step the foot forward, spin the back foot flat. Here we go, warrior two. Warrior two, spin the front leg out. Back foot is pressing down and pulling to the top of your mat. And then go for that half bind variation, half bind for the bottom arm. Bottom arm. Top hand can stay right here, no problem. Good, and then release, unwind. Make your way into that side plank variation, holding the knee, the shin, maybe that outer edge of the foot, and lift. Good, and then step your left foot back to the top of your mat, triangle pose. So for me on this side, I can feel that I need to come up a little bit higher. I'm still getting that nice opening through the leg. And then unwind, step back to downward facing dog. Lift through plank pose, lower all the way down. Sweep your arms by your sides. Inhale, lift your head and chest, bend your knees, and just press your feet straight up. And lower down and rest a moment. Okay, hands to the floor. Come up to hands and knees. So there are a couple ways in to try this. One variation that you can do is to have your knees down. It shortens the lever, so it makes it a little bit more accessible, I believe. So I'm gonna face you first. I'm gonna step the left foot forward and then kickstand your bottom leg inward a little bit. And get low. I'm just gonna focus on getting low. And here I'm gonna work the right shoulder underneath the right knee. So I'm trying to face you so you can see this view a little bit better. Work the shoulder underneath the knee. So grab your ankle, right? Lift your belly, your bottom ribs up. Curl into yourself. Work the shoulder underneath the knee. Plant your hands like chaturanga and just work here. Squeeze the knee in and lift, right? So that's one place to work. Lift. Once you've got that, you can hold across the top of the foot, plug the shoulder blade onto the back, kick the right leg away, and start to turn open this way. You can let that go. If you want to try the back foot and warrior two variation, so I'll show that on the other side. I like to start with a shorter stance. Go underneath, right? Plant your hand, squeeze the leg in, press the hands down. First step is to free the foot. Once you've got your foot off the ground, transfer the weight. Keep that right shoulder blade, bottom shoulder blade on your back. Hold across the top of the foot. Turn your leg in to extend it, and then start to turn your torso towards the sky. And then slowly let go and step back, downward facing dog. Lower your knees, lower your body, bend your knees. If it doesn't bother your back to hold your feet, grab hold of your feet. Otherwise, please enjoy the unbound variation from before. And lower down and rest. Bring yourself up to sit. So it's actually can be very handy to sit up on your blanket for a little bit of height. And we're gonna finish with a balancing twist. So you can have your leg extended all the way out in front of you, no problem. Please feel free to fold that blanket up, give yourself as much height as needed. You can hug the knee into your chest or cross the elbow all the way over. I find that too deep of a twist. We haven't done really a lot of twisting in this sequence. So I'm gonna just hug the knee in, lengthen, turn your belly, and turn your head. On your next inhale, unwind and simply switch your legs. And unwind again. Just bring the soles of the feet together, the knees apart. Hold on to your shins, sit up nice and tall, press the feet together and start to hinge forward. Make your way up to sit, and then please come to lie down on your back. And take your feet about mat's distance apart. Lie back. Make yourself as comfortable as possible. Big breath in. Through the mouth, let it out. And let the weight of your body sink into the floor. Again, let the weight of your body sink into the floor. The work is done. Let the muscles soften from the bones, become heavy. Relax the jaw and the tongue and the eyes. Relax the fingers so they curl inward to the palm. Soften the toes. Can the legs become even heavier? Can the belly soften even more? Feel your heart start to slow down. Feel your breath start to slow down. Feel all that newfound space that you've created in your body. Space and strength and awareness. Please feel free to stay here for longer if you'd like. If you need to come out, just wiggle the fingers and the toes. One at a time, bend the knees. Roll onto your side and come up to sit. Thank you so much for practicing today. See you next time.